Welcome to Casual Conversations with the handler and guest speaker, Matt LeBeau. Matt, so great to have you on this show.
Good working with you, Thomas.
You know, I like to say this is a behind-the-scenes look, but we're getting right up in front of you, right, Matt? So Matt here is a content producer and he's a cameraman. Well, he's the one here is running this studio, and I asked him to join this fine man into this conversation, and he said, "Yes, I will." The handler. No, here's the thing: is we want to enlighten and brighten your days, and we want to have, well, casual conversations, and so man, I always like to start it off with the right theme. What's your favorite pizza?
Gotta be the Clam Casino pizza from Pepe's.
Clam's Casino Pie. Now, I do like a good clam pie. Now, my children and I, we go to Modern. That's our favorite spot there.
Modern is good too.
Oh yeah, they are. You know, there's some good hot spots that are right down in New Haven. They have some delicious pizza pie. So, you know, I mean, a lot of people will say, well, New York has good pie, and some people like that deep dish, but I like that thin crust. You know, and a buddy of mine up in Wolcott, Waterbury way, up that way, you know, and he calls by his shop's called, or his pizza place called Verona's, you know, Sal, and he's been up there for a while, right on Meriden Waterbury Turnpike, and what a pizza he has, right? He's got fire trucks now, right? These fire trucks are awesome. I mean, you got those trucks that come out and they do, you know, on the spot, pizza, anything you want, right? You know, for banquets or, you know, venues of all types. And so, but his pizza, it's got like a marinara style sauce, right? You know, but what he does is, because it's such a thin crust, he puts the cheese down first, and then he puts the thin layer of the sauce on top.
That's an interesting way of doing it, but it sounds good.
It is phenomenal. I do appreciate a good pizza pie, and of course he's out that way, which is you know, I go all over the place, you know. Now, so Matt, where are you from?
I'm from Guilford itself, born and raised.
Born and raised from Guilford. Well, shout out to everyone in Guilford. I want to say, Sally Sue, you are awesome. She's a friend of mine, lives here in Guilford. She moved here maybe a year or so ago, and I've been, you know, a friend of hers and helping her out ever since, you know, and well, she's got a big piece of property with a nice barn, and, well, it's like a nursery over there. She's got so many flowers. So, Sally Sue, I love helping you, and that's a beautiful, beautiful place you have put together for everyone to enjoy. So, but yeah, Guilford is an amazing place, and you know, and well, there's so many amazing places in this world. Where would you go if you had the opportunity to go see once, you know, in all your life? Where would you want to be?
I would love to travel to Japan at least once.
Okay.
It started out liking anime, but as I just read about their culture and history, I just want to see and visit the country, meet the people, and try the food at least once.
That sounds very exciting. You know, you know, getting out there and traveling around the world is really amazing, and you know, they have a interesting culture out there, you know, and you know, and they, I'm a martial artist, so I mean, obviously they are into martial arts, no doubt, right? And you got the samurai sword. Some people are collectors of those samurai swords. You like samurai swords?
They're really neat. Yeah.
Did you ever use them in any of your games? So you actually have become proficient
at least in the virtual sword.
In the virtual use of a samurai sword.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Right. So but yeah, there's so many beautiful places on this green earth here, and I always recommend to everyone, go out there. I have done some traveling and seen many things, and well, in my lifetime I want to do much more, because you know, as the handler of Magnetic Movement, my goal is to get out there and meet as many people as possible, and relate to them in any way. I mean, because whether it be pizza, or whether it be from a religious point of view, spiritual, or or political point of view. I mean, here's the thing: is that, I go and have conversations that they say don't have. I'm like, well, why and who is they? You ever hear that? And so that phrase, they said don't do that, or it's like, well, who is they? Right?
Yeah.
Who are they? Right?
Is it the government? Is it the church? Is it the mayor or the police?
Or is it,
Yeah.
as it stands now, social bullying, right? Or media presence, right? For one post out there can turn you up or shut you down. You go viral with a post, you're next level, or with a video or something like that. But if you're out there and you say the wrong thing, well, social media is going to condemn you. Right. So, and I like to say, not to go too deep down this road, but is the one who is without any flaws, past or present, throw the first stone, which I doubt. Ain't nobody in this world better than anyone else, simply put, right? And when we start realizing that we are no different, you and me and everyone else, then, well, maybe we'll start loving each other a little bit more. We'll stop the hate, and that's well, so I wrote this great poem. Now, out of my social media as Thomas Killstrom on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, X, Reddit, I'm on all those platforms as Thomas Killstrom, and well, every day I post this beautiful poem or meme, inspiration, something out there for you to feel the thought and the words of the day, to inspire you to be the best of you, and however you receive that message. And the coolest thing is I have a great illustration I use, so I always want to recommend people going out there and checking it out. Be a follower, be a friend, be a subscriber across all these platforms. So today I have, it's always a happy day, right? Remember, we have a choice on who we're going to be every day we wake up. If we wake up with a positive mindset, or the mindset that says I can go do it, then okay, well, I've already started the day on the right foot.
Yeah.
Right. And well, the next step, well, it's up to me. But if I choose to keep it in that positive nature, no matter what comes my way, well, I am going to progress forward. The minute I step backwards because of something deterring me, and I'm thinking in my mind that it is somehow a deterrent, remember, the only obstacle that stands in front of you is your own mind, right? And if you can think around or better or higher or lower or below or through it, or it doesn't even exist, there is no obstacle, right? So what inhibits what's in front of you to accomplish your goals? And what are your goals? But I have set my goals very high, right? And even though I have many goals along the way that I'm going to accomplish, right? These big goals are to ensure a future for my children, to make sure that freedom does exist and make sure equality does exist. I mean, these are some simple words, but they are so important. And I always ask everyone, well, what are you doing to ensure that way of life? And better than it is today, of course, because now I've been around for a while. I'm 55, so I remember 50 cents a gallon, right? So I'm not going to just point out every bit of writing that's on the wall. I'm just going to say is just open your eyes, look at how things were and how things are now. Now, I'm saying that things were great all back then there. I'm just saying is things were different. That means someone made that change. Someone took the power for change. Well, who is it? Is it you, I? Is it them? Or is it they? Well, we know they being, well, our government, the religion, as you said it, right? Well, if they are the ones controlling and have that power for change and have done this change upon our world, well, I guess they are in control. However, I thought we the people was we and everyone, right? So, I mean, we the people is all of us. But this is not just happening in the U.S. of A. This is happening all over the world because everything changes based on what's going on in our world and our economy and what's going on in the stock market and of course, everything is, emanated out on social media and regular media channels that whatever gets set in place seems to roll all around. A lot of trends happening out in California, right? And these trends, they come down and they start in different places, but all I know is it's very easy. Now, yesterday I called it Happy Trendsetter Tuesday, right? Because I'm like, okay, well, let's set a trend to being as intelligent as possible by asking questions, being inquisitive, by trusting in yourself, and doing reading and connecting with others as much as possible. Well, let's set a trend of kindness. Let us set a trend of love, right? Let us set a trend of something towards a betterment of us and our society. Now, I have today's poem I want to read you with this cool illustration. Happy Wildcard Wednesday, my friends. In hopes you are surprised by the way I inspire you to rise, because it's time we became wise to the United States government who will be your demise. Now, this is the cool picture I have put out there on social media. So there's that cool picture. It's of an eagle, a fierce eagle, with the flag all wrapped around it and fists wrapped, ready to fight. So, and that's why I go out there with this MMA gear, right? It seems like it's become somewhat of a signature of mine. I don't have my MMA gloves on now, and I don't necessarily want it to be a signature, but here's the thing: is it's whatever works, right? So if I have the gloves on, well, I'm ready to fight. If I'm wearing a suit coat with a flag, now you know who I'm ready to fight for or against, depending on. I'm here to fight for the people, right? And the flag represents the U.S. of A. people, the country, and it's we the people who have elected other people to run said country, and I'm sorry, but they have done a piss poor job.
I can agree with that. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think everybody does, and just most people I talk to is like, too far gone. I'm just gonna ride it out. I'm like, really? How's that going to work out for you? It's somebody else's job, and I elect somebody for that. Point being is this is an election year, and we have two people basically that are being put out there. You have Biden and Trump that are running. Everybody else has been shadowed, right? And so now. Everybody's like, well, he's a felon. I'm like, well, he's a senile old man. And I'm like, what? This is the United States of America and the best we can do, right? Kind of reminds me of that movie with Bruce Willis, Armageddon. And they brings, I love movies, right? They bring in, Bruce Willis because he was a oil digger out in the ocean. And they bring into him, and he's like, they're showing them their plans. He's like, this is the best the United States government can do to save the world? Really? And I'm like, wow. I'm like, well, movies are awesome, but point being is this is the best we can do to save our world is what we do out there today, which is accept what's coming. It's like, okay, well, I see an asteroid coming my way. I'm just going to watch it. Now, I'm all about it. So if you can't do nothing, then, well, I'm going to stand right up in front and watch the end, right? Why not have the best view? But and have fun doing it, of course. But if you have a chance, you got hours or days or weeks or years to prevent some kind of destruction on Earth, the level of chaos that, like a nuclear bomb goes off on somewhere. I mean, that's going to do some serious damage and for quite some time, right? Well, we already see the level of damage that's been done to our country and our world over time. Is it better to be impacted all by once, or is it to slowly realize the destruction that has happened right in front of your own eyes? And then, of course, I'm like, well, if your attitude right now is, it's going too far and I can just watch this and I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I'm like, well, I guess you deserve what you get, right? But I hope people step forward and contribute much more in our world. And, well, how are they going to do that? Well, wonder how they're going to do that? By making friends. That is how you do that, right? So my idea here is that I always have a plan, and my plan is to make as many friends as possible. So no matter what comes our way, I got friends. I got people that are going to get my back and I'm going to get theirs, and we're going to make sure that that is the case. And as more and more of us stand together, that obstacle that may appear in one person's eyes, well, when there's two, and then there's 200, and then there's 200,000, well, I don't think the United States government is going to look like too much an obstacle when the level of chaos is happening to everyone. It's just a matter of what time you decide to stand up and contribute to fixing that level of chaos. I always like to say it like this. It's like people are waiting. You got them two people that are running for office, and they're like, you're waiting for one man to get in office. One man here's supposed to save the world, and this other man, well, we already know what he's doing, but so other people believe in him like he's the next Hail Almighty, because he's patting himself on the back so much with Kamala Harris. I'm like, oh, are you serious? You're doing a great job with this economy, huh? And food and gas prices are astronomical. I'm like, seriously? And like I said, they both. Well, I'm not here to bash the candidates. I'm here to say the problem is the system. But it doesn't matter who you put in office. The whole system is corrupt. So there's going to come a time where you're going to realize that this is really happening to you and everything they do. And they're like, okay, well, I don't want to see everybody saying, like, wow, I had a chance to do something about that years ago or weeks ago, and I said, I'm nothing I can do now. And now when it's 100 times worse, what are you going to do? But as we form friendships along the way, because we're all in this together, and if we form friendships, then we're going to have a lot more to say. And as anyone who's not as strong as the next, well, because it's camaraderie, friendships that we stand behind. When we get together like that, remember, this is getting together for a movement towards the betterment of our society. That the end goal is your future. So you have every reason to want to contribute to that once you know the level of future that you won't have if you don't. Now, that movement is obviously called magnetic movement, and we will be an unstoppable force. And coolest thing is along the way, we are going to have a lot of fun doing it, because with every person you meet, you have somebody has a personality, right? And those personalities, they start to come out when you start to come around other people, right? So next thing you know, you're hanging out with these people here, and it's like, oh, well, I didn't know that was who you are, because you're starting to open up a little bit, because you're building trust. And once you have trust over time, remember, everybody has their level of comfort. Over time, you build really amazing friendships that you would do anything for each other. And that's what I'm looking for everyone. And you as well, Matt, because guess what? I mean, we are here working together, and Matt Mr. Matt is an awesome dude. You know, he has been educating me on what he does here, and so Matt, can you tell us a little bit about your multicam and your camera system and how it works? I mean, I love to hear the passion in somebody else's voice when they talk about something they love so much.
Well, basically here at the studio, we have a 3-camera setup where we do one person. So this camera is pointing at me. The center camera is a wide shot of both of us, while the left camera is focused on you. So usually if it's a 2-person setup, one camera is for each person and one on both. And then you can kind of switch it up if it's more people. Then once we get the footage onto a computer and into editing software, we use a process called multicam editing, where we combine the 3 camera video and audio formats into a single timeline, and then use various keyboard shortcuts as the video is playing to make cuts to switch in between each camera, and to make a one coherent piece that looks like something that you'll see actually on TV or online. But we are a community-based station, so if you have an idea for a show, feel free to stop by or email us or fill out our contact form on our website, guilfordcommunitytv.org, and feel free to stop by and pitch your idea for a show or a video. It doesn't have to be a series. It doesn't have to be long. It could be 15 minutes. It could be an hour and a half. It could be in the studio, or it could be out in the field. If you have an idea, feel free to get it out.
Now, how often do you go out in the field?
Depends on the time. Really, it depends. I could have a month where I don't have any field shoots, but I'm in the studio a few times, and sometimes I can have 2 or 3 field shoots.
Now, do you take all these cameras as field shoots, or just use one?
No, we have separate cameras that we have to take out.
Okay, so you have a whole different setup.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's very. Now, how long have you been doing this now?
I've been an employee of GCTV for several months, since last August or September.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing video work on and off for at least a decade.
Nice. So this is old hat to you. But I bet you times have changed. So you've had dealt with some older cameras, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I go back even farther than that. Remember, I'm 55, so I go back to the Converse 64 and the Vic 20, Vic 120 or something like that. I think it was Vic 20. But yeah, I mean, back in the day, I mean, those are my very first computers. Now, I've been in computers and IT for over 25 years, and this doesn't even count from my childhood, right? You know, I'm just talking about for as long as I've been in the industry, but I've been doing it all my life. I mean, when I was younger, I programmed in BASIC, programming language, Fortran, and COBOL. Those were the 3 languages they were teaching in my high school at the time.
COBOL is still an in-demand language for government services. From what I've read about, they're still used in a lot of government databases.
Well, so we know. I mean, I worked at Pratt & Whitney, so I know there's a lot of old systems out there and languages, and you got to make sure you have the people that are well versed in that too to maintain them, because they are far and few between. But there's a lot that goes on in our government that so much are unaware, because the thing is there's no need to tell you about something if it's going to raise concern or cause the government any issues. Because I mean, if they want to do something and they tell you about it and they know you're gonna put your foot up to that, or say no way, well, why would they tell you?
Yeah.
I mean, they'll tell you afterwards, or as the bill is passing, that bribery is now legal in our United States government. It's like, well, wow,
It might as well be legal already.
Right? Oh, it's been. That's what I'm saying. It's like that. I mean,
it's just been hush hush.
they apparently can do whatever they want, huh? And that's just sad that we don't try to stop them in any way. Now, one I hear a lot is, and this is, I think, one of the common themes out there is people are tired. I get that. I mean, you work all day, and I've put in some long days many times, and for a very long time. And you get done, and it's like, well, you want to kick your feet back. You just want to crash on the bed or eat some food and relax, or whatever it is that you enjoy or you need at that moment in time. But here's the thing: is I think we need to find it in ourselves to do a little bit extra, right? And that little bit extra is, you call it an investment of your time for your own wellness, right? I mean, and if you contribute in some way, I mean, people have savings accounts, right? That savings account is an investment. People invest in stocks and bonds and digital currency and different things like that. And there's lots of people doing different types of investments. But if this level of investment requires your time, most people are like, I have no time. But if this investment is one of the biggest investments you can make, because it may make the difference between you are homeless and a millionaire, simply put, right? Because if today you have X and tomorrow you're going to have minus 100 or minus 1,000, whatever it is that they're going to take tomorrow, and with your taxes that continue to grow, with the prices of everything, the writing has always been on the wall for the way things are happening, and they're not getting better. And the only way we're going to fix this is if we personally get involved. Whatever your capabilities are, utilize them, get together, form a plan and a strategy, which is mine is to make friends with all of y'all. So this way, with everyone I touch, you can touch 5 or 10 or 100 more, because once I know you, I know who's in my address book, but I know you know who is in your address book. And if it comes down to sharing some information that is going to profit your friends or family in the future, why wouldn't you do that? And our time is valuable, but we better utilize it wisely today, so this way our future we can enjoy. Because now people are working multiple jobs. People are working, they have retired and they went ahead and got to get another job because they're getting less and less, or things are just costing that much more. I mean, that's just apparently how things work around here. And they work that way because we have allowed it to happen. Now, if we pause, look at our life, look at the present we're living in, and say, how do I influence a better future? Well, it all starts with your thoughts, your positive mindset for change. Call it power for change. Your thoughts go into words. Whatever you speak, well, it's who you are, what you're going to do, and those are the actions in which go forward. So if we all start speaking positive, being nicer to each other, making friends, then I think, and we start saying good things and actually doing those good things, right? But it's going to take every one of us to start going out of my way and saying, I hope you have a happy Wednesday. I may be a wild card that you never ever imagined would show up here as the handler with magnetic movement, but trust and believe this wild card needs to exist, because somebody's got to wake you all up to helping create a better future for you, yourself, and your children. Matt, it's totally been an honor to have you here.
It's been a pleasure, Thomas.
You know, this is a great studio, and I love having you as a new friend, and I do actually would love to go off site and you know, go on the road somewhere with the camera truck, whatever you got here, and have a fun camera shoot outside. I'll have to get some more people for that. We have to make a party out of it. You know, not a political party. All right, so I want to say thank you all, everyone out there, for tuning in to Casual Conversations. We didn't get heated, but we definitely have spoken our minds, right? And I thank you again for joining me, Matt, here, and y'all be well. And the handler here, Magnetic Movement, wishing you to join us. It is for your improvement. See you soon. Bye for now.